Wanna be a Roman? Hello there, my fellow map enjoyers, sandaiokaki, and welcome to Running Clock EU4 guys. Today, we are playing as the most sweeter nation to form the Spanish Empire and bring the Golden Era right back into the Iberian Peninsula. And now, once again, bring back the glory of the Western Roman Empire, or something like that. Castile is our player of choice now. Iron Man, as usual. After all, that didn't raise me a pussy, but you don't need to do that. It's just a matter of showing to you guys how relatable my guides can be. You know, relatable. But in order to accomplish what I'm going to show you here, you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Well, except if you really want a girlfriend. In that case, you need to at least restore the Roman Empire by 1500, as Castile playing Iron Man on very hard difficulty without taking along the basic currency, getting ally, or even start a war. Just easy. Everyone knows that hard clouds of you don't count. So first thing first, we wanna start by doing some state shenanigans. Note that Castile do start with already given one privilege, the factionless nobility. Give the nobility is a modifier that will hurt us a little bit, but with some works and dealing with the infants of Aragon, that should be gone away pretty soon. And by the infants of Aragon, I mean that mission here that you need to choose either by going to full all-in military Spain or just getting the Iberian wedding as usual by having different enchanted rulers and that kind of thing. For the clergy, they give the religious state, church sanctuaries, religious diplomats. Have you heard about some clerical education? As for the nobles, primacy of the nobility, supremacy over the crown, and some court positioning. For the burghers, give the land of commerce. I really do like to have some bookkeeping, and some free ships is nice as well. Today, we are once again doing the manpower tweak, so pick right away in that to the burghers. Start recruiting some troops into the Plato manpower, and then summon the dead. That should give us a cheaper advisor to work on. Yeah, level 3 even. Nice. Cancel the recruitment of your troops, and then Caesar. Now let's go for the diplomacy. If you can, you should always go for the royal marriage with Burgundy. Do not ally them and then royal marriage them and then ally. In order to get the Burgundy inheritance, you should be the one that send the royal marriage into Burgundy. Always remember that. As ally, we can almost ever grab Aragon if they don't rival us, but I think that it is not really that good of an option right now. In the end of the day, they will become our PU anyway. In that case, I'll be going for someone else around here, such as Austria. Let a day pass by and send the alliance to Navarra as well. Portugal indeed is always a solid choice, and for now, that's all the slots that we can work on. As soon as you can, send the alliance to Burgundy and start to improve some relations with Navarra in order to try to vassalize them. The thing here is try to get them as our vassal before top you over Aragon. That is pretty much when the ruler died, and the ruler usually do die in the first years of the game, because the OPM personal union is arguably worse than an OPM vassal. Instead of the 60 year that you need to wait if you default into PU over us. I will start by drafting some ships for all using the state privilege, because I really want to have a lot of ships, and for my initial ships I will be sending 3 of the heavy ships in order to hunt pirates in the Sevilla trade node, and for the entirety of my trade ships, the light ships, I'll be set them to protect trade in Sevilla. The rest we can pretty much just marble for now. We can fight anyone just in the beginning. We need to fabricate some clans in Granada, because these days we just don't get perma clans here anymore for some reason, and we do need start with a truce with Granada that will be just expiring in 4 years, so we have a lot of time to prepare ourselves. No need to rush it. That being said, I'll be hiring some advisors. As for the admin advisor, either prestige or national tax is good if it's a level 1. Level 2 is not that good because, you know, it's quite expensive. For the diplomatic advisor, we want either to improve relations, a diplomatic reputations, or a trade efficiency if they are level 1. If they don't add a level 1, such as in my case here, just pick the level 1 that you can, which in my case is Moraler Navies. And for our military advisor, we will be waiting to regard the advisor for an agenda. As for my rival, I will be pretty much rival back France, because they hate my guts and I hate them back. England, because they hate me and I also hate you back. And for my third rival, I will be picking Morocco, because I want to fight them, and that will be just free PP, you know, free PP. I like PP. Wait, no, I don't mean that way, okay? We can also stop paying for our troops and marble our fort, and to save us a little bit of war treasury. And okay, that was nice. Don't mind if I do. Free stability, please. And as soon as the first months pass by, the event of Aragon disaster will start to tick up, and there is nothing that we can do about it. And by solving that disaster here, we can pretty much complete our first mission. So I know I tell you to stop paying for troops, more about our force, but when that thing here reached at least 7 to 80%, start paying for troops, start paying for force, we will be fighting a lot of rebels, believe me. And what I will be doing in the meantime is start to slack some recruitments because we really want to use some mercenaries later on. We do start with the professionalists that, okay, we need professionalists for some of our missions around here. Our professionalist is something that we can grab later on. It's not that important in the beginning, or at least having more manpower pool is way more useful. And by doing some shenanigans such as guaranteeing royal marriage, transfer territory to us, giving military access, and send a gift, we can less than 1 year vassalize Navarra. So now they will not find top you over Aragon, and when you do get Aragon, you're not getting a useless peel. And what you also want to do is build a flagship here. I know we will be a little bit over, well, a lot over our naval force limit, but it will be worth it, believe me. For the flagship, you'll be picking some nasty things here, such as the Spanish Gran Armada, the Spanish mass-load cannons, and the fleet engagement with. And when the defense of Aragon did fire, remember, stay your troops close and with generals if you can, and never, I say never, go for the infantry, right? We are basically fighting one last stack. Fighting one last stack of rebels is not worth need to fight the Aragonese for the throne. So I'll be moving my troops to the province that they're just about to revolt, such as Murcia, that is the one that have more troops. And of course, we will be stunned with the rightful ruler of the Castilians. And the takeoff was one stability, but not that big of a deal, because in order to complete that disaster here, we just need to have 0 stability. If you don't get an event or free stability, just like me, that was pretty lucky, not gonna lie. We just need to grab a bit of admin, and you probably should change your admiral to a stability cost 1 and basically kill the rebels. Basically, kill rebels, boost your stability, and that's it. That is enough to us to complete the mission, take some legitimacy and some crawling, as well as a lot of manpower. Here now we are in pretty good shape. And for La Mancha gold mining here, I'll be encouraging the development of their state. And as you can see here, now we have a lot of new local organizations, aka the old orders. Pretty good stuff, not gonna lie. But from that one here in the La Mancha, I'll be probably going for the local goods produce later when I do get the PowerPoints to do that. And I'll be dipping some diplomata here. You have to reach 10, because it's better to have a 10 gold production province than have the tech. And by boosting stability to 1, we can finally deal with the infantes. I know we can wait to pick that later and make an even better ruler, but I'm not willing to do that. So now we do need to get Aragon into PU. If you do get their personal unit over Aragon, we do need to dismiss our alliance with Portugal. And if you don't do that, we'll not be getting the restoration of unit over Portugal. So yeah, he's a good initial ally, but just initial ally. Don't keep them around for that much, okay? Please. And now that our truce with Granada is up, what I'll be doing here is... okay, they are not willing to join the war. But if they are willing to join the war, I will be co-belligerent Tunis because they are in poor relation with the Ottomans. And I do want to take the trade centers before they can ally the Turks, because, you know, it's the Turks and they're kind of annoying to deal with. I will be declaring Granada for my rightful claim of Granata. And let's dive in. Should be a pretty easy war. After all, they don't even have allies in the war. And now that the war started, I'll be giving to the clergy the expansion auxiliary, because morale of armies with our own morale armies here is just kind of busted. And the war basically just started and they are already done for good. So yeah, so now it's just a matter of blockading some forts here and not let them recruit any more troops, and they should be done for good. And because now we are at war, and there are nations at war, they cannot fall under PO over other nation, I'll be disinheriting my shit Enrique de Trastamara because you're just a piece of shit. Get out of my throne, and hopefully we can grant a better her, you know, maybe Isabella. I would love to see Isabella in my throne. And no, was not Isabella, was a Burgundian here. That is a thing that can happen if you have at least 4 royal marriage, if I'm not wrong. Well, at least it's not a Habsburg, but we are kinda, you know, ally with the Habsburg, but sure. And apparently Austria have a great game. Huh. Won't be a shame if something happened about that. And don't really look at that. We can even grab the military tech before anyone else can, because Castile do indeed start with focus on mill. And now that I already grabbed the most important tech around here, I'll be starting by focus on admin because we want to core a lot. And speaking of coring, we did in fact take Granada, so we can full annex Granada without even need to take the Malacca fort, because Granada is a capital fort, thus more important and thus easier than taking the just regular fort, money as well, pretty please, and yoink. If you are new at Cry Andalusia, we can pop out the Recon Andalusia mission that will give the fate of the Granada Kingdom, or the Kingdom of Granada, that will give us the fate of the Kingdom of Granada. We can either lose this ability and change all the religion and culture here to ours, just expel the minority of a country who didn't ever do that, or we can grab a feast ability and lose a lot of papal influence. Because this patch, having the minorities of your country being expelled is not, well, relevant anymore. I will be taking this stability, please. Please don't find my Twitter, please don't find my Twitter. And don't you look at that, free conversion and even a cheaper advisor. Don't mind if I do. Hey, okay, that's another Crawland take back, but now it's time to finally declare on Morocco and continue your glorious Reconquista. And let's dive in. A superior arm quality should be massive for now, but you need to take close attention in the fast fort is a mountain capital fort, so it's pretty difficult to take it, and if they do manage to hit the 4 middle attack, they will probably engage on us. So for now, let's just try to be a bit more cautious. So you're saying that I'm trying to navally land, huh? I'm afraid that I need to present you to something. Yep. That's how it is. And don't you look at that, Portugal is not having the purest of the intentions right now, so let's try to get into that province before they can. And that is the fast down, so that should be even easier. I'll be going for that kind of business deal, take my clans here and basically sneak my way into Taflat. It's better to, instead of have the fast capital fort, have the Taflat gold mine, because we'll be just insanely improving your economic situation in the beginning. So yeah, Taflat over fast, always. And the Tangiers fort is now also down. One of the reasons that I take the fort really easy was because of my spy network that I was building for the entire of the war, that 83% give us 16 siegeability and almost 25% aggressive expansion when we do take that province here, which is not that big of a deal because we are just attacking the Berbers, and the Berbers that are just, you know, here to be conquered. Always make spy networks, please. That will help you a lot. And RIP. No, I'm not sure, but I think that they're done for good. Just a bit of cap at siege, and that way they'll not be able to recruit more troops. Some forts down. RIP. And yoink. That's how you deal with the Moors. For the province here, I'll be calling all of them, but in the meantime, I did already start fabricating some plans in Tankland, and I'll be fighting them also, because why not? I just need my diplomat got home, and the overextension will be not that big of an issue because they can't just pass into our province at the end of the day. So yeah, give me your land, please. Okay, let's try the Portuguese quality. No, I mean the Tankland quality. Yep, didn't impress me at all. But in the end of the day, we did get a gold found in Taflight that will give us some really striking gold here. I didn't say that, but in the meantime, you should always build Spinal Core and that province here of France. That one here is Gascon, and thus we can release a Gascon vessel here and use to reconquer a lot of cars. Holy, that's a huge Albania. I didn't see that coming. Good for you, Skander, bro. I'm happy to see that. For the ally here, I just want money. And for your first government reform, I do strongly recommend that you do pick the compromise with the nobility, because there is some stability cost, some illegitimacy, and the increased levies privilege will be even better than it already is. I didn't give that yet because I just grew the increased levy. That's a lot of manpower for free. And if you do take that government reform here, it's literally for free. Okay, that was kinda sus, but sure. And in the middle of the war, Tankland did in fact got bigger, so you know what that means, right? You don't even need to guess. More province from me. Boys, that is how you end my entire career. And for the province that we just conquered for Tankland, we do have a lot of overextension here. I'll be releasing a vassal, namely Algiers, not even tanking because I don't want to deal with them. And Algiers have a reconquest here that it will be pretty nice, pretty good. And I'll be giving the province around here, except for the Taflat one that will be taken for me. And the rest will be all going to Algiers. Now, we did indeed have a big Algiers, which means that we can already give also the strong Duchy to the nobility, giving us one extra diplo slot and enable us to try to go for other ally if you want. I don't have any good choice. Okay, I will go for Savoy, just because I guess it's a slot that I have, so my views as well. And let's go after the Tunisians. That is for some reason also allied to Sus. I think that Sus probably big free with the help with both Tanglen and Tunis, and now they kind of are allies. But since I was already attacking on Tanglen, they didn't be called for the war, so yeah. That's how it is. And I'll be calling Portugal, not even to help me with the war here, but to deal with my annoying rebels, because I'm too lazy to do that. And we finally lost our initial ruler, so our cheddar for Burgundy is finally on throne. Always, when your ruler die, remember that you need to be the one that send the royal march to Burgundy and not the other side, because if you do that, no Burgundy heresy to you anymore. And since they do hate the guts of both Austria and France, our odds are got the inheritance just for free are pretty good. Glory to the Wolfsburg, glory to Castile, indeed a 6-4, please do that. Unfortunately, is a male her, but is indeed a pretty good one, you know? Oh yeah, the classic Iceland stack wipe. Yep, and that's boy is why I'll be taking my peace deal, the core for my vassal, the coastal province over there, and both of the provinces here that are both trade centers. And in terms of coalition, screw the coalition. The Ottomans can join, but whatever, we are right at the point that they can't do shit about us. You heard that, right? I'm coming for you. And for the province that we just took for Tunis, I will be cutting out of them and also adding all of them to the trade company. I know, just give me a merchant and I'll be fine with that. And with my new car merchant, I'll be sending them into Sevilla because I can. And what I'll be also be doing is to add the province here in Sevilla to the trade company as well. That will boost our trade income by a bit, and that should be pretty nice, you know. Now it's just a matter of inheriting Aragon, inheriting Burgundy, and what I'll be doing here, what I call a pro gamer move.
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer
is to curry some favors with Austria, because as you can see here, the only friend that Naples have is Austria, and Aragon really want to take Naples. And when they do that, we'll be receiving a free Naples when we do get the Iberian wedding. It's a matter of waiting until we can pay for our initial debt, recover a bit of manpower, and later we'll be going after the French, because they're about to get annoying, you know? They are quite big already. And with Taflat finally caught, we'll be making that a full core and even lower the autonomy here. And when we can grab the diplo power to do that, we'll drop some production out here, because that's a broken province, okay? That's a broken province. And for the rest of the province, we can pretty much just add it into the trade company as well. It's not the best thing that you can do with your governing capacity, but will not be needed to deal with the religious unity, and that's enough for me. So you're telling me that that rebel stack here is just going to enforce the battle? Sure, why not? Holy, that hurted. Yeah, the Castilian experience, die to rebels. Conquer everyone around you, but die to rebels. Sure. That's how it is. And a 13 balance of income by 46.3 is pretty solid in my opinion. And for my first idea group, I know do exist a new meta for Castile that big exploration at all. Just go for expansionists and take an explorer from the state, but I don't like that. But Castile, I do think that old school colonial game is more enjoyable in my opinion. I did that the other thing, but no, don't feel the same, so I'll be picking exploration, and as soon as I can, changing my focus to Diplo and start to feel some of ideas here. Who the one that tell me the Ottomans and the Mamluks who never team up? I'm going after you, and by sending a score for Yusuf to one of the Pope rivals, finally complete another of my missions that is not about sending insult, but it's about opinion. We'll get a free kernel, and our ruler will be even improved, so pretty nice indeed. But now you're in a pretty strong situation and can even go after the French pretty easy. You have 2 mil tech advantage over them. Might as well do now. Okay, that was unfortunately indeed. In the moment that the CB, the Aragon have over Naples expired, I got 50 favors. How unlucky, but yeah. It is what it is, and let's move on. Now we need to beat up France. So in order to do that, I will be calling basically all my allies because I can, and for no other reason, setting Bordeaux as our north target and beat the shit out of them. Yep, I think that this war here is not that balanced, but sure. Sure. Not gonna lie, it was being a quite easy war. Our allies are pretty much just carrying us. I almost didn't contribute to the war because I was using in the fort that I was stopping to get into Paris, but Burgundy is doing a pretty good job here. And that's a free explorer. So I think that is finally time that we explore the new world. With that, we can take the Plus Ultra mission. That will give you some juice colonial range and our ruler will become expansionist. But I will not be doing that yet. I'll be giving that when my hair got the throne. I want to have that modifier for more time. And what I was talking about, the new privilege, is that if you have a colonist, you can just go to the burghers here. And when you come to grant the new world charters, we can get not only the scepter chance and the global, but you have one of the decisions that will not just give us colonial range, but also a free explorer that I'll be taking, not even for the free explorer, but for the colonial range. But now we can reach further. You don't really need to take exploration anymore to get explorer. So if you want to do a more military centered campaign, you can take expansion, take the first colonist, take explorer, detach the expansion, and take other ideas. You'll be getting a colonist anyway for ideas here, and when we do form the Spain nation, you'll be also get the same colonist. So it's a no-brainer if you wanted to do just a big blob around. But for the sake of role-playing, I will go for exploration infrastructure because it's also pretty broken, and I would like to do that. And for a native policy, that should be anything else aside for skilling native for sport, you know? Not that I ever had any navy there before. And the best part is that you can even prove that I'm lying. And now the war is pretty much over. I'll be giving 3 provinces to Burgundy, and I could just take some money, but because I didn't do much of contribution here, I will not be making basically any. So instead of that, I will like to take 1 more province. So yoink. And here you'll be releasing Gascony that have a shit ton of colors to be reconquered here. And right now is a pretty decent time to just wait and chill a little bit while we do get back and both tech and ideas. After we are getting a lot of AE here, and I did already get a lot of AE here, and because I almost reached my meal cap, it's time to set some dev clicks here and there, right? Remember, before development province, I always enable the state edicts of development. Apparently we got to the new world first, so great to see. Prestige is always nice. And by taking a colonial range dude here, that is basically enough for us to finally reach the new world. I'll be sending my colonists here, and as soon as that colony here is done, we'll be getting a new colonial range around here, so we can pretty much start colonizing like crazy the Caribbeans, and that's even before taking our Plus Ultra. And that was CASTILE. Yeah, that was the Brigadier Harrison that I was talking about. So now we are pretty big land. Right now we do need to take care of some things. First of all, we'll probably lose our Austrian alliance, but it's not that big of a deal. And I might as well grab Lithuania as one of my allies because I will probably lose the Austrians when that thing here happen, because I will not be given land of Burgundy, of course, and they can be kind of pissed off about that. Oh no, I mean, that not happened here. I didn't see anything happen. You see anything? I don't see anything. And for my first stage ability, I'll be of course taking the Justified Wars. And for your third government reform, I strongly recommend you, if you're going for a colonial game, take the Council of the Indies because the treaty free income is massive. You need to see how big that can be. But if you're going for other type of gameplay, such as expansionist, I kind of do it both, I think. You can pretty much pick both like the expanded royal court or the centralized bureaucracy, but since I am kind of colonial lord, I will take the Council of the Indies. Later, I will be taking also my doctrine here that will also increase the treaty free income, and when we do complete the exploration ideas, there will be a summatory of 100% treaty free income. So yeah, that's good, you know. And no, I will not give you an inch, but I think that you might be having a bad time trying to deal with that. What is happening here? And yeah, Austria. I kinda see your things here. Go after Lithuania. Yeah, do that. That's quite smart of you. Quite smart. And yeah, Austria, you're almost there, buddy. You as soon as you take the capital of Lithuania, you win the war. Yeah, that's how that's how we do. So please, Austria, I know some of your treats, and stay at home next time. You're kinda drunk. And please give me allies once again if you like. I will appreciate a lot have you as my friend once again. Let's forget about the past and the huge burgundy that I just got from you. In Lithuania, I kinda started to talk with my ex and she promised that you're gonna change, you know? You know that you already have a history, right? And for my second ideal group, I'll be going for infrastructure because it's kinda broken and together with exploration is extremely broken. And now you look at that. Isabella of Castile, please come to my throne. You'll be a great one. Now, it's just a matter of waiting some time, and when your ruler pass away and Isabella come to the throne, you'll be pretty much a guaranteed PU in Aragon because they have just males in their throne, and we don't have Isabel, which is pretty nice. And after recruiting a lot of troops and definitely a lot of navy, I'm able to complete another wonderful mission, the Armies of Iberia, and for 25 years will give us some morale damage and some minus decay of our navy and armed edition. But even better, it enables a really cheeky mission here that will not be clicking anytime soon, because if England do have a different religion of us, like if they do convert themselves to Anglican, or if we do pick one of the Protestant religions, we gain here not only cleanse but a restoration of union. And you know, England can be pretty expensive into that lot, so Castile don't really need to take exploration in order to colonize. Really, you don't need to do that, but it is really enjoyable. After all, the bigger colonizers will be puppies someday, such as England, Portugal. We do have a lot of restoration of unions, you know, a lot of them. And because we do manage to hit 48 with at least 40% of Scotland before reaching the Castilian Civil War that is just about to happen, we can take the reinforced royal authority here that will give us some temporary modifiers and some equilibrium for a couple of time. And in order to complete that mission here, we just need to upgrade Granada 3 times, and yeah, that should be enough. Now we'll be getting some monthly reform progress, a flat modifier, and Granada will get a state government cost, which is quite decent, is nice, but mainly here, that one here is massive. Oh, don't you look at that! Reconquista time! My favorite station of the year. And now that Castilian Civil War started, if you want to stay with our red heroes and just get a bit closer to Portugal, or if you want to go with the Aragonese, pick a really bad her. Yeah, I see that. I see what it is. And because we kinda screwed about how much we need the stability, I'll be spending some of my admin here. Look, that is still pretty cheap to pay up the stability because we do indeed grab the compromise with the nobility. As soon as we kill the pretenders and occupy the province, the Castilian Civil War should be over. And that's our first colony done. So now we can pretty much reach the entire of the Americas. So in order to speed up a little bit the things here, I'll be sending some more colonies around here. That will cost us a lot, but will be worth it in the long run. I will be full annex Marrakesh. The same can be said for Torgu, and of course as well for Taflat. In the meantime, I did fabricate a clan in Tunis that are allied with Sus, and I'll be declaring on Tunis and co-belligerent Sus that will bring Morocco also into the war, so we can pretty much consolidate the rest of the Berber nations in just one go. So let's first try to neutralize them first, and just after that go after Tunis. And rip. Now it's just a matter of carpet sieging a little bit. Now I take the fort back from the rebels and the Castilian Civil War is done. So now it's just a matter of profit and waiting till our lady here come to the throne so we can abdicate and take Aragon. That should be pretty easy. For my second age ability, I'll be indeed taking the high developed colonies because that is just broken and we finally don't have any Sus around us anymore. And yoink. Now let's deal with the Tunisians. And your Caribbean colony mission will give us some prestige, but more importantly, for 15 years or more settler chance increase, so which means that our colonies here should be in speedrunning mode. And with that, no more Tunis. And yeah, that's kind of basic already. So let's just try to get our shit together and grab some Aragonese personal units, shall we? And what I'm gonna do in order to get some cheaper colony, I did already just revoke the current court position privilege, and instead of this, I'll be granting nobility expedition rights because that will make your colony a bit cheaper to be maintained, and thus you help us a little bit. Austria wanted me to help them in getting a Bohemia personal union. I don't see why not accepting that. Remember, every single land that Austria did expand, that will be a land that I will be getting later. I don't even need to do anything because of my Burgundy personal union. They will be the heavy lift for me, and I'll be just staying shit at home. But if you can help them expand, you should be doing that, such as what I did with Burgundy. We did give them that 3 provinces here that is roughly 44 dev just for free. So that's the type of thing that you should be thinking in the long term, because you will be paying off, you know? Don't have to deal with the aggressive expansion or even with the overextension later is really wonderful. And later down the line, you'll be even getting some years for personal unit integration, as well as some pretty good deep annexation costs, and even some governing capacity in order to maintain that huge amount of land that combined with the Euskoriat will be giving us massive 20% governing capacity modifier just for that 2 things. And later when we do hit India, we'll be also able to grab Bangkok for ourselves. So yeah, we'll be basically able to stay the entirety of the Roman Empire thing without even running into governing capacity issues. Just remember to build a couple of courthouses here and there. So honey, it's time to be built up again. So yeah, for France we'll be taking the entire of our vassal cores, as well as the cores that our vassal have in their subject land that I do need to occupy the province before, and probably try to connect my land into Burgundy, because later that will be our own claim anyway. Rip and rip. And now we have an even greater military advantage over them. So yeah, the festival just started. And rip. Attacking a mountain is no problemo. And rip. Not gonna lie, that's more troops than I expected, but should not be a problem for superior Spanish troops, and that's a colony. Did anyone see some French troops? And rip. Could you please don't try to run away from me? That's kinda rude of you. And rip. Holy, we already kill a lot of troops, don't we? And rip. Okay, now your guys are starting to get me tired. But in the meantime, we did complete our exploration idea, and because we did that before the Portuguese, we'll be getting the legendary explorer Ferdinand Magellan that will give us 2 innovators and a 4461 explorer, and I don't even need to say that it's a really good one, right? And rip, and rip. And for my 4th government fort, I will be curtailing the clerical privilege, because religious units will going to be an issue later, and admin tech costs, as well as curtailing some of the clergy influence is always a nice thing to have. So our next admin tech will not be costing us 595 enemy, and instead of that, will be costing us only 535. So it's already a good improvement. I'll be making them a private enterprise because the Caribbean is an extremely wealthy region, and as a private enterprise, they will be getting some juicy bonus. You have to get some more goods produced and better colonial goods. And the first of many colonial nations is finally built. I'll be going for building as my 2nd colony on here in Panama, and Mexico I will be conquered by our mission tree that will give us some really good amount of claim claims here. And that's enough to seal the deal with the devil. Wait. No, I mean the French. I will take all of my core vassals and bury for myself in order to get to reach Burgundy. A bit of ducats as well, and yeah, it's already a pretty beautiful borders. And take a look at that player map mode. And with that, we finally have the right amount of crawling in order to revoke that bad privilege that we just started. Take us roughly 40 years. Can you take you less if you don't give the mana privilege in the beginning, but I strongly recommend that you do. And now that we finally have our 6th slot for what we want to give, I'll be giving for all of the states the cheaper advisor privilege, because even if they get nerfed in the last patch, this still is extremely broken, you know? Paying less for cheaper advisors is always a good thing to do. And don't you love to see that? That is just an Austro-Hungarian unification. That's a lot of land you have here, lads. And what I'm deciding for my colonial private enterprise here is to encourage cash corps. And rip, and what a chat of a conqueror. Oh look, free land! And that's making me black flag way down here in Muscovy, okay. And that's a big Austria that we have here. One that will be a shame. And now that my ruler finally passed away and Isabel de Trastomara is on her throne, what I'll be doing here is in fact to dismiss my alliance with Portugal, and as soon as I got some spare admin, I'll be also breaking my royal ties, because at any time soon we should be getting the Iberian wedding. Besides, we do have, in fact, different gender rulers. And yoink. And like I was saying, the Iberian wedding let us bind their dynasty to us, that will give us a free Aragon. So now an even better player placement. And I'll be right away break my royal ties with Portugal. And if I do click that mission here, it should be giving me a restoration of union in both Portugal and Naples. And as you can see here, Naples don't have any bigger ally, so I'll be right away declaring on them for the restoration of union. And what I can also do is raiding France, that should give me some permanent power projection, because I kinda already expanded a little bit in the French region, you know? So right now, let us grab our rightful union. And what I'll be also doing is dismissing my alliance with Austria, because right now it's just a matter of recruiting a couple of troops, and when I do that, I'll be getting a restoration of union over Austria as soon as I recover Portugal. So the two should be roughly around the same time, and since Austria don't have both Bohemia and Hungary as the union, I'll be also getting union over them as well. So yeah, kinda broken if I might say. And that's an institution for us. Nice. I'll be using that to make the call that I need to form the Colombia colonial nation, and that's C for Naples. Now they are integrating your nation? Well, kinda. I will right away, as soon as I can, start to improve relations with them, because if you force a union over a nation, they will have negative opinion of you, and if your ruler die while your people have negative opinion of you, you will be losing the personal union, such as the two tip here to say, the personal union with Castile will end, but if you do have positive opinion, personal union with Castile could. In the meantime, I did start building some clans here in Mamluks, because I was expecting to get the Cura controller and then call a crusader over the Mamluks, but unfortunately French did get a Cura controller and call a crusade against the Ottomans. So yeah, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We can take them later. Throughout the Mamluks heavily weakened because of the recent war that they just lose against the Ottomans, so it's better that we strike them before the Ottomans can have the chance to do that again. And the Alexandria trade route is extremely wealth as well, and we flow just over Genoa. That will be our final end note. So yeah, very good stuff. Worth to be conquered at least. And with that, we complete our infrastructure idea, give us some construction time, dev costs, but more important than that, colony development boosts. So our new colonies here and there will be extremely powerful. And if you do colonize basically the entire of the new world with that, well, that's the entire of the world with plus 3 dev per province. I'll be focusing on getting both the Rio Grande and the Mississippi River area, because they both can be some pretty powerful colonies. So yeah, let's do this. And because they are indeed occupied by natives, we can pretty much just conquer the province and automatically build a colony as soon as the code is complete. And like I said, now we have Colombia. I will make that a self-governing colony, because it's a quite massive colony, and set them as self-governing, they will start to be colonizing more, and later when they just colonize the entire of the Colombia region here, we can change this type of subjects to a crown colony that will give us some greater benefits. And now that our truce with Portugal is finally over, it's time to present them to their new overlord, the mighty Castilians. And holy, that was the whole Portuguese army. I think that they only have some colonial troops now. So now it's basically just a matter of waiting till the British get out of the war, and that should be done for them. And I think that it would be easier than I thought to naval invade them. And definitely can you please leave me alone with just Portugal? And for Portugal, I'll be taking the Union and also Lisboa, because it's a really important trade center, and I want for myself Ducas as well, please. And coalition is just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind, I tell you. And grass expansion is just a number. That being said, let me complete another of our juicy missions here that will give me some stability, production, and prestige. But since I do have the max amount of prestige, will give me just power points. And oh, don't you look at that! Austria, my dude, have you ever heard about the Albanian Union? Unfortunately, Austria is indeed getting declared by the Ottomans. So as the moment that we do take the Union, if they are still at war with the Ottomans, we will be involved in that war. But they will probably take the province that they want for Hungary before we can gain our war, which means that you have a Jewish reconquest to be against the Ottomans as soon as we finish the war. And for some reason, apparently they are in my land. For what reason your army is just so good? Can you please tell me? Holy Jesus, we got decimated here. Okay, that will be harder than I thought it would be. And rip. By catching up their minus tax, I will probably be able to win that war fairly easy. After all, they'll deal with the Turkish, and when someone is dealing with the Turkish, you can pretty much just steamroll their cap, and they probably not be able to do anything about that. So yeah, let's just try to not get ourselves killed in the meantime. And second round, baby. And yeah, that will do. And because I want to get that sooner than later, I'll be barraging the Austrian capital, and because they don't have more troops to reinforce that, because the Turkish is basically doing all the heavy lift for us, that war should be over pretty soon. And yep, that was indeed a fairly quick siege. So now let's just score the north here and grab some more forts. And that's it for the Age of Discovery, apparently. Okay, that is just about what we need, and the best part of it, the Turkish don't win the war yet. So, which means that if you guys really wanna see that, I can make a second part of this video. And in the second part, we'll be not only dealing with the massive coalition that we're just about to get, but also deal with the Ottomans that is just rolling everyone around here. They just beat up the Mamluks, they beat up the Muscovites, they beat up everyone. So they are pretty massive, pretty powerful. They open with quantity and administration that is extremely aggressive of them. So can we beat up the Ottomans? Can we restore the former glory of the Roman Empire? Well, only you can tell me. If we do reach 50 likes this video here, are we going to release, well, record and release the second part of this? So let's just take a look at that, a sneak peek, if I may say. Now we are at war with the Turks. But the best part, we did indeed get Hungary as our personal unit. Unfortunately, the Austrian ruler died before placating the Bohemians, so they kinda lost the personal unit before we can do any shit about it. But now our player map mode is indeed massive. Our diplomatic screen is extremely powerful. We are fighting with the French and with the Ottomans at the same time. We are losing the war because Hungary is completely occupied. We are out of manpower. We don't have that much money, but we have a dream. And a man with a dream cannot be stopped, they say. So, if you enjoyed the video, if you want a continuation, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment what you thought about it, and see you soon.